Hello, welcome into Grand Slam Sports. And as you guys, a lot of you guys probably do know us. We like to mess around a lot. We like to have a lot of fun. But before this video starts, we did want to say one thing. So first off, with these awards coming up for the ISBC, they're the People's Choice Content Creator of the Year Award. And we have seen a lot of people, from people that have watched the channel, people that supported it, to people that don't know us but know us through our families. And we've seen that you guys have been voting. We've seen you guys have been giving us a lot of support. So we did just want to say thank you guys very much for all the support that you guys have been giving us. It means a lot, and whether we win it or not, this goes unnoticed. So thank you guys very much for making what we love to do a possibility. Now on to the video. Welcome into Grand Slam Sports, NBA here, where we're going to be talking about the in-season tournament, a few other things coming into it. NBA season coming in full turn here on Grand Slam Sports. And starting off with the in-season tournament, the bracket has now finally been announced. Evan's gonna put it up right here in front of me. So first game that we're gonna talk about is the Lakers versus the Phoenix Suns. How you feeling about this one, Jace?
Man, this tournament has been so much fun to watch. I mean, the crowds are into it, everyone's into it, we're into it, because you know both of our teams are in it, and we'll get into that in a second. But the Lakers and Suns, I believe they both came out of the same group too, which is kind of interesting. I mean, this one's going to be a close one. I mean, the Lakers said that this could be another trophy for LeBron James to put on his resume, basically. But the Suns, they have one of the most stacked teams in the NBA if they can stay healthy. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. I like the Suns in this one, honestly. I think they're the better team here. I know the Lakers, I believe, have the home game in this one, but I don't think the Lakers have what it takes to beat Phoenix in this scenario.
I mean, we've already seen this series. We've seen this series go full send with the first game of the whole in-season tournament for both of these teams.
Yeah.
It was a playoff game. I mean, it was a phenomenal game. And I'm pretty sure that one was also in LA. The crowd was loud. LeBron played great. Both teams played great, but Bradley Beal did not play in that game. But also, we might not have Kevin Durant in this game. Remember, he's still questionable.
That's true.
I feel like if the Suns come in fully healthy, they're my favorite to win it.
And with this is now single elimination.
Yes.
We never see this in the NBA. This is the first time we've ever seen this.
I think it's fun.
This is single elimination. You win, and you move on. You lose, and you're out.
In NBA, it's a momentum game. It's all about swings. And with this, you can have one bad night, one bad shooting performance, and you're gone. That's what makes this tournament, to me, very special for those mediocre teams, because this gives them a chance against some of the Titans.
Yeah, I think overall in here, if the Suns are healthy in this game, I think they take this one. But it is a chance for LeBron, like I said, to get another trophy, to be the first ever champion of the in-season tournament. Of course, that would look really good on his quote-unquote GOAT resume. He's not the GOAT to me. I still think it's MJ. But, I mean, it'd be big for LeBron to win this tournament. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, these two, I mean, we already know LeBron and MJ have been going head-to-head since LeBron's been in the league. It's been the whole thing. So, I mean, it's definitely something to add to the resume. I mean, we remember LeBron in 2002, I saw a quote today. He was talking about how someone that's, 38 years old still being able to score, referring to Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan in the Wizards, how he's still dropping 25 at age 38, and now he's 38 doing it himself. I mean, it all just comes full circle around. Yeah. I'm loving to see this, and I think that this would be a massive thing on the resume, especially for a Lakers team that they need it. They really
and also,
do.
It could be big for the Suns. I don't believe they've ever won a title of any kind.
No trophies.
So I mean, a lot of these teams in this tournament, they have a chance to really get their first trophy under the wing here.
So make the Suns.
This could be big for a team to get some momentum and motivation heading into the rest of the season.
To be the Suns, make sure they're able to show people that they're legit, because they've been probably one of the most doubted super teams I've seen since Brooklyn. So
well, that's fair.
Up next, we got the Kings versus Pelicans. These are two franchises I am very excited for. Take it away.
If y'all remember, the first episode we did the in-season tournament predictions, I believe I picked the Kings to win the whole thing.
He did pick the Kings. I'll give him that.
Because this tournament fits them perfectly. It's them and the Pacers. They fit this. I mean, they fit this. This young, fun team it's so much fun to watch their offense, not their defense, but their offense play. And I think this fits them. This game especially suits them perfectly. I don't think this will be close. I think they're going to whoop the Pelicans.
I like this game because, once again, it's another team that also is young and fun with the Pelicans. I feel like they have defensively more discipline.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like that might give them a little bit of the edge over the Kings, but the Kings are also offensively more sound. So I think it'll be two really good teams that are going to be, they're really strong in what they do. They're young, they're youthful, they're going to be jumping up, it's going to be 140 to 140 type scores. So I'm going to take the Kings to take it in a closer game. I'm not seeing a whooping here, not personally.
I don't know. I'm a big Kings person. Ever since
fair.
since Sabonis went there, he's played perfectly. He's an MVP candidate right now, which is actually insane for Sabonis to be top 10 in the MVP race. But I think the Kings win this one. I think they make it out of the Western Conference in this.
Yeah, I mean, stick with them going all the way. I had the Cavs going all the way. They just barely did not make it. But, I mean, I was confident with that pick. I still stand by it.
Who do you have out of the West? So you picked the Kings and who? Was the Lakers, right?
Out of the West, I have Kings versus Lakers, and I'm going to have Kings beating the Lakers.
So we agree with the Kings.
Yeah,
going to the final.
Yeah, Kings were on my list on the West. So I'm pretty sure I just picked an Eastern team. So I mean, going on to the Eastern, the games are going to be a little bit closer here. Bucks versus Knicks. Hopefully
closer than things that happened earlier this year.
Yeah,
I'm having war flashbacks right now from earlier in the season, the Pacers.
This game has been great. I mean, this matchup is going to be great. Bucks and Knicks. The Knicks are one of the most well-built teams in the East, while the Bucks are one of the more top-heavy teams in the East. Surprisingly, the Bucks are normally known for having a full roster of good players, and this year
they traded them all the way for Damian Lillard. I mean, do you blame them though?
No, I don't blame them at all. I mean, Brook Lopez, DPOY candidate, which we're going to get into later. Damian Lillard's Damian Lillard, and Giannis is Giannis. I mean, this team is phenomenal. They just need to put it all together and get the wins that matter. I'm excited to see Bucks versus Knicks. I got Bucks coming out of this one personally.
Give me the Bucks. The Knicks, they're a well-built team, like you said. They have the players that they can beat Milwaukee, but I just don't see them stopping Giannis. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be difficult because I mean he's been on an absolute tear recently. Giannis, like 30-something a game. It's been insane what he's been doing to teams.
And he's not on the MVP ladder right now, top 5, which is shocking.
Because he's been there, done that. Yeah. I think this is the usual season for him. He's not outperforming anything he's done before.
Yeah. So, it's hard to put someone MVP if they just do the same thing they've been doing. I get it. Voter fatigue is a real thing.
Oh, it is.
Moving on to the final game.
Oh, boy.
Celtics versus Pacers. I'm a Celtics fan. He's a Pacers fan. They're going to be in Indy here, so we're going to be going to that game. Yeah, I am very excited for that game.
I don't know how to feel because earlier in the year we lost 155 to 104. I will never forget that score in Boston.
We were in class together on a Wednesday.
We were in class together watching that game. And it was not fun. I did not in any way enjoy watching that basketball game. I mean, Halliburton was out. He's now healthy. He's back. That's the one game he's missed. He is the only reason this squad is a playoff contender. Mm-hmm. Without him, Indiana might be the worst team in all of the NBA.
But it's also a 50-point loss. It's going to be hard to say that one person can come back and change that.
But he can't. That's the thing he does.
Yeah, and coming into this game as well, it's also going to be the question of, and obviously I've been in Indiana for about 2 years now, mm-hmm. and I've been in Indiana a lot of the times, coming in, coming out, and this is where I normally grew up. This is where I watched Celtics games at, because I can't go all the way down to Boston, being from Illinois, and Indiana is surprisingly a sea of green. There is a lot of Celtics fans here, and every single time there's a lot
of Boston people here.
Yeah.
Patriots fans, Celtics fans, Red Sox fans.
We work with a Patriots fan.
Unfortunately. No.
But it'll be good. I mean, last game I went to, whenever it was last year, and I saw if as much, if not more, green in the stands at a Pacers game.
It'll be different.
This Pacers team is good. This team is bringing out their crowds out.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're 9-7. Thing is, they can beat anybody, but they can also lose to anybody. We've seen them lose to the Portland Trailblazers just a few nights ago.
That's a bad game. We were going to go to that one too.
The Portland Trailblazers. We let Jeremy Grant score like 35 points on us. The problem with the Pacers is they cannot guard wings.
That's who they're going to be
going against. The 3 and the
against.
4, they cannot guard that. That's why I'm okay getting Boston rather than Milwaukee, because Giannis would have gone Giannis absolutely torched us earlier in the game, and somehow we beat them.
The biggest thing is they're going to have to be able to extend on the 5-out that Boston is so good at. And
I'm worried about Porzingis against Turner. I'm going to be fully honest.
That'll be the biggest test. I'm taking Boston. Even if it is biased, I do think that there's a better team here.
Do I go bias or do I go?
Go bias. It'll be more fun that way. You can go bias. That's fair. Manifest your team to win.
I just have a thing to say. I've been to 10 Pacers games in the last 2 years. They are 2-8 in the games I've been to, and I'm on a 5-game losing streak.
And we are going to the one, so I mean.
And I'm going to it. So to saying right now, take Boston on every betting app you can, because they're going to win, unfortunately, I think. But I'm still going to take Indiana. I got to stick with my boys. Maybe for once they get the upset win when I'm there.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a turn of the tide for me. Hopefully they win this. but I don't think they'll get past Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee makes it out of the East.
I think that Boston takes out of the East. I do think that this will be the first true test between Boston and Milwaukee. I think, honestly, if you are a basketball fan, everyone they're waiting at the edge of their seat waiting for that playoff series between Boston and Milwaukee, because that is going to feed families.
It's got to happen, right?
Yeah.
Best of 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's got to be Boston-Milwaukee, right?
It's going to feed families, man. It's
Who
going
else
to be
could
great.
it be, honestly? No one else in
I
this
mean,
league.
yeah, Miami always does it, but I mean, they have to make it this year. So I mean, they were the AC. We said that last year, so I don't know. We'll see. But that series is going to feed families. I'm telling you, man, that is going to be must see, the best series that we're going to see in decades.
So your finals is Kings and Celtics.
Yes, and I'm taking Boston to win it all.
Taking Boston to win it all. That's got to be biased.
You could say you're biased, but I feel like the Kings are a young, fun team, yada, 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 but Boston's Boston. This is the best, well-built team
I have
in the
Kings
league.
and Bucks. I'm going to take the Sacramento Kings. I got to stick with my boys I picked from the beginning.
That's fair.
To win this. I think, honestly, in all honesty, I really do believe they can win this.
I think that they can definitely upset a team like that. It's just with the Celtics.
It's a one-game series.
With the Celtics, it's going to be hard to beat a team like them where they are the championship favorite. If they make it to that stage, it's going to be hard to beat them. So, I mean, especially with that depth, that's the one thing the Kings have kind of struggled with, is going down to that
series,
9th or 10th.
anyone can beat anybody, because this is the NBA.
Yeah.
This is much different than college ball. We have,
I would not bet on this game unless you're betting over and unders, and always bet the over, because unders normally don't happen in today's NBA.
Any Pacers game, bet the over. That's the lesson from this year so far.
So with the mid-season tournament, kind of breaking down a little bit, it's about to be over. How are you feeling about it, man?
I love this.
I love it too.
This brings a big game feel.
It does.
To before meaningless games.
I mean,
in the middle of November.
If Boston was coming down to Indy, I was going to go anyway. I go to every single Boston game in Indy, but I probably would not have cared. I would have just been like, oh, I get to go see my Celtics play, yay! Instead of like, oh, it's game day. I'm coming decked out, jersey and everything.
I mean, this is the best I've felt about going to a game in a long time. This is a meaningful, big game, and I believe fans around the NBA have the same consensus.
Yeah.
This is great, because all these games, because teams know what they need to do. Like yesterday, the last games of the tournament, Boston knew how much they needed to win by to win the group.
I still can't believe they did it.
And they whooped up Chicago. They kept the starters in the whole time just to get the big win. Teams are playing these games like it's the playoffs.
I love it. And the people that are like, oh, this is confusing, and oh, I don't like this.
It makes sense.
Man, I get it.
It works perfectly too, because these games also count as regular season games.
I don't think that these
They are.
quarterfinal ones.
They are. Quarterfinal. So how they did it. So quarterfinal and semifinal games, because teams were originally given 80 games in the season. Usually it's 82.
Oh.
So if you made it to the quarterfinals, that's an extra game. If you make semis, that's 82. The finals does not count. It's just an extra game. So teams that did make the quarters, they got an extra 2 games over the next week that they've already been released the schedule.
That's
they released
awesome.
that. So the teams that didn't make it will have an extra 2 games that will get added to their schedule, to the schedule now. Sorry, my stutter's killing me right now. Let me slow down a little bit. But those teams that didn't make it will get an extra 2 games added to the schedule over the next week.
Wow, Adam Silver.
It's built perfectly. Also, apologies for my stutter there. I don't know what just happened.
Giggity. All right, so last time we did an episode, which was almost 2 weeks ago. It's been a very long time. Thanksgiving break, some other obligations that we've all had to go to.
I had to go to Kansas.
We talked about the city jerseys. That video was hilarious. And now we're coming back into the season where we're seeing these in-season tournament games where the courts match the jerseys, and they're wearing the jerseys a lot. And I talked to Jace the other day. We were in class, and I told him, I was like, these jerseys are growing on me. Some of these are actually pretty nice. How are you feeling about the city jerseys, seeing them in action on players?
They look a lot better going with the courts, except for some courts. Like I remember I was watching a Lakers game, and it's just a bright yellow court. My eyes couldn't take it.
The bright red court that the Rockets have. Oh.
Yeah, some of them, I just don't get it. But I mean, some teams actually released a special court to go along with
Indy.
Like I know Indy did. I think Houston has one.
Houston with the astronaut. Detroit released one as well with the black instead of the blue.
So some teams have 3 courts right now, and they're using a third one as an extra for when they wear those city uniforms as an extra. Like we wear all indies, they have like a gray with splatters
Which
of
is gorgeous.
blue and yellow,
Gorgeous.
which is
and I also think that New
perfect.
Orleans also has an extra court. And there are definitely more teams than that. Most of the teams that keep the same courts, normally the teams that historically have had the same courts, like Boston's never going to change TD Garden. I was surprised
They had to change that for this tournament though.
I was
unfortunately.
surprised they went along with it. I'm not going to lie to you because I have never seen TD Garden not look the same in my
I
life.
want to know what they're going to do the courts next year. What kind of design will they come up with next year?
Hopefully less extravagant. Make them just
Make it one color. We don't
make
need
it,
this line in the middle of it.
Don't make it like a lime green. Make it something that won't give me an aneurysm when I'm watching it. But I do love I love the big fight feel of the trophy in the middle. Now, please, for the finals,
NBA finals, put the trophy in the middle, please.
put that
we
trophy
need it.
back there. Please do not make them bright colors because everyone wants
And
to watch
also, one
them.
of my worries about the courts with the colors like that, players are finding it slippery because this is not the courts they usually use. They're not accustomed. They're not built in.
Yeah.
Usually. And I know the first Pacer game of the tournament against Cleveland, I think it was, the Pacers players were complaining the entire game about how slippery the court was.
Yeah.
Because it's not a usual court.
Yeah.
You have the colors on there too. It's slippery.
Yeah. It's going to have to be watched, and, injuries. I mean, we've also seen, like, NBA, you got to be, on it because we've seen the turf epidemic in the NFL, which I've been complaining
Way
about for
worse
years.
than any other sport, though. That's a whole different
Yeah,
conversation.
it's a whole different conversation. NFL, you got to listen to your players, bro. People are dying
Get the grass.
out there.
Go back to grass. Every stadium needs grass. This turf is ruining players' lives.
Yeah, MetLife, I mean,
MetLife is
I'm a
ruining
Jets
everyone.
fan, and MetLife is ruining everybody. So, I mean, yeah, fix it. First off, we got another player of the week. We try and cover it every single week. We've been slacking these last 2 weeks, but we got this week's. We got Devin Booker after coming back from some injuries,
How
and
about this one?
Paolo Banchero.
I just want to speak on the Magic as a team. They are 12-5.
They're 12-5.
They are 12-5.
Wow.
The Orlando freaking Magic.
I was on last call with Graham and Caden about a week ago, and we were talking about the Magic, and I was telling him, I was like, I don't like this team to go far because depth-wise they're not that good.
No.
But the team, they're regular season champions right now. I mean, they're playing great.
I just don't understand how. I mean, they came to Indy and they whooped butt. They absolutely smacked the Pacers. I was like, is Orlando actually good? And now they're going on this. They've won like 7, 8 games in a row right now. They are on fire.
This is a good team.
I'm not accustomed to the Magic being decent.
I mean, the Magic, they haven't been good since, Arenas and Dwight Howard and Shaq and all them back in the day, Penny Hardaway. I mean, the Magic have always been one of those teams. They have great players, and I'm just concerned that, Paolo Banchero will be another one of those good players wasted because he's
not being wasted, though.
He is a stud.
He is a stud.
And he was my number one pick from day one, and the fact that it was even a conversation.
He was in the same draft class as Chet Holmgren, though, wasn't he?
Yes. And
So I think
Jabari Smith Jr., wrong
Jabari Smith.
Yes.
I still think Chet's better, but we'll get into that.
I'm personally a Paolo fan. I think that Paolo is definitely the better pick. But Chet is, having a pretty good season, but he's also on a better team.
D-Book, though. Suns. He came back from injury. He was hurt at the start of the year, right?
Yeah.
D-Book. He came back. He's performing well once again. This is the classic Devin Booker we know.
This is the D-Book we know. I'm not too worried about the, player of the week. Cool. Good for him. Paolo Banchero is kind of the story because I don't think he's ever won it before.
It's the pizzazz player of the week.
Yeah. It's,
look who this is. Paolo Banchero.
Going on to the Rookie of the Year, kind of looking at that.
It's
right
tight.
now,
It's tight.
Chet just passed Wemby on the list. How are we feeling about that?
It's right.
It's right.
It's absolutely right. You could kind of say because of the team as well. The Spurs are absolutely horrible.
Yeah, the Sochan experiment needs to end. Please, dear
now.
God. But
the Thunder their Thunder have been really good.
what concerns me is the NBA does this really cool thing. I'm not going to say it out loud, but they do some things to Wemby that they probably should not be doing. I mean, this man has a literal tab on the NBA.com that's called the Wemby Watch. That's crazy. We don't even have a LeBron watch. I mean, like, we don't even have.
Well, I mean, Wemby was the highest touted prospect in NBA history.
But give him his own tab with no other players having that. It's crazy to me.
The spotlight's on him too much. You see the Spurs getting all these primetime national TV games. They released that schedule for the extra games. They gave the Spurs a primetime game as one of those against, I think it was like the Suns. No, it wasn't the Suns. It was some random team. I think it was the Jazz.
They're giving them the Lakers treatment right now where they're getting the pizzazz.
And they're 3-14.
Yeah,
they're
awful.
3-14 and are god-awful. Stop it, NBA.
Yeah,
Stop
we don't care. It's similar.
Chet Holmgren is better than Victor Wembanyama, and you aren't talking about him at all.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Wembanyama, I mean, he's going to be one of the best prospects we've seen in a very long time. But I'm very high on him. But I just think that the hype that the NBA is giving him is making it a lot harder for him to grow, because this man could go out there and score 25 and 7 and no one's going to bat an eye. But if he scores, let's say he has an off game, 11 and 6, people are going to be,
Which for a rookie, that's actually really good.
Oh my God, Wemby sucks. He's so bad. Get him. He shouldn't have been. No, stop that. Because anyone that was saying Scoot should have been number 2 or number 3, we've seen he's been shooting, 9% from 3. So,
Dude, he's not been that great.
Yeah, Brandon Miller, he's been pretty solid.
Charlotte, yeah.
But Wemby was the clear first overall pick. And anyone that did not think that, you need to get.
And I find it kind of funny, too. This is like Ben Simmons all over again when Chet, this really isn't his rookie year.
Yeah.
But technically, it is his rookie year, so he can win Rookie of the Year. Because, he was supposed to play last year, then he got hurt in the preseason scrimmage, which
it was
sucks
in
for
the
him.
Drew League, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
It was. But, so that gives Chet a year up on Victor Wembanyama.
It's a lot more experience to, work with the team. Wemby's fine. I'm the first person that will tell you whenever a company goes too far on a player.
They have.
They have gone too far. But that does not mean that it is warranted for hate. People have been hating on Wemby, saying he's not good, blah, blah, blah. Come on, bro.
It's because I think people think he gets too much publicity.
He does.
Which he by far does. You look at the NBA, social media, every other post is probably a Victor Wembanyama post.
Greatness sells tickets, and I'm going to say it now. I am not a fan of Taylor Swift, but it sells merch. Mm-hmm. It sells your product. So, people that
that's
hate
a whole
on
other country is the Swifties, man.
Yeah, people that hate on the NFL, they're like, oh, Taylor Swift. No, they're making money. Let them do their thing.
Money.
It's a business, bro. Come on, man. Either
it's
way,
all a business. I think Chet wins at the end of the year, though.
Chet.
He played KD and outperformed him.
He's just gonna have to worry about if Wemby does even close to as good as him. Wemby's winning because Wemby gets the popular vote. Yep. So Chet's got to blow him out of the water. He's not going to take that award home. But we're knowing in our hearts that he deserved it. Moving on to the MVP ladder, we got the top 5 have been announced. We have Nikola Jokic again, Luka Doncic, that's a fun one. The foul regular season merchant second round exit, Joel Embiid.
This guy hates Philadelphia.
A new one, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which we've never seen before, and my boy Jason Tatum. How are you feeling about this list?
There's one guy I wish was on here, and he's got to be close, right? Halliburton?
Yeah, he should be.
He's got to be right up there.
He's putting up Chris Paul numbers right now, like prime CP3 numbers. I'm loving it.
He's putting up better numbers than the Steve Nash MVP season.
Yeah, but that season was also notoriously bad.
That's very true.
Steve Nash won off of technicality. Same thing with Derrick Rose.
I just think Halliburton doesn't get any love at all.
Because he's in a small market like Indiana. We're from Indiana. We see Halliburton. We see everything he does. But
Dude deserves MVP before he does.
Let's be honest. Everyone outside of the Midwest and Indiana, no one cares about the Pacers. And so it's hard to look at Halliburton. He isn't he doesn't have star all over him. No. He's not one of those players. He came in looking like a star. He doesn't do what a star does, where he's all over TV and commercials and all that. It's just Tyrese Halliburton suits up, goes, plays ball, goes home. That's what he does. And he does some other charity work, stuff like that. But no one really sees that unless you're from Indiana like we are. So we see that stuff. We get to see how good of a player Halliburton is. And honestly, he could be top 6, 7 like this on this MVP list.
But I think right now, for me, there's one guy I think deserves it over everyone else. There's 2 I like over anyone else here. I'm not going to say Jokic. I don't think he should win it again.
My voter fatigue is kicking in, so I'm saying please no Jokic. Just get something new.
I have 2 that I like. Luka Doncic.
Fair.
And Shai.
Fair. I thought you said Chet for a second. I was like,
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, Shai.
SGA.
For a second I was like, what?
Not Chet Holmgren. No. We ain't going that far now. See, I like Chet, but I don't like him that much. Chill with that.
That was a Wemby moment, but I think that's fair. Yeah, Doncic. Tatum's just not good enough fully statistically to be up there. Doncic, he's gonna win.
I think he deserves it.
He's gonna win at least 2, but his team's got to win.
Doncic has got to win MVP at some point. The numbers he puts up, he's basically carrying this Mavericks squad. Him and Kyrie.
Yeah, Shai is proving that the Thunder are gonna have a dynasty.
Why did the Clippers ever get rid of him?
Dude, he wasn't as good in the club. He showed signs of growth. He was a tall guard. Some people even compared him to Magic Johnson, which I thought was absurd. But
he's
looking at
his numbers now.
when he was playing for the Clippers, he wasn't really doing much. He was just that young piece that they just threw in. They were more looking at the picks.
But didn't they trade him for PG?
Yes.
If you were the Clippers right now, do you regret that?
Oh yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I also don't think Chet would have grown. I mean, I don't think Chet would be the way. I mean, not Chet. I'm doing what you're doing. I don't think that's.
I didn't do it. You started this. So, I mean.
He's just in my head right now. Sorry. I read the word Chet on my paper. He would not be the Shai that we know today because he would not have been given the keys like he has, especially with Giddey being gone right now. He literally has.
Giddey's not gone. He's still playing.
I mean, Giddey's going to be gone right now. They're going to be investigating it. They're probably going to sit him out for a little bit. That's the issue. Like, because
the Thunder are adamant to play him, so we'll see.
They are adamant.
I don't want to get this topic. This is a large topic right now.
Yeah, it depends on how the Giddey situation goes. Depending on how that goes, even Shai may fully have the offense, and then you're really going to get to see what he can do. I love the way that he looks.
I love the Thunder.
Thunder are great.
They are a perfect built team. Everyone just bounces off each other.
It's a bunch of 25-year-olds that are just really good at basketball. Their bench is a bunch of kind of older players, but they're very clearly going to get replaced. Their entire 2028 team is going to be a bunch of high schoolers right now because this team has 30 picks.
This team might be a dynasty in the next few years.
Yeah, I'm hoping. The Thunder they do it so good. Their management is great. I mean, they did it with KD and Russ where they almost won, and KD did what KD did and left, and then they traded James Harden for Kevin Martin. Don't even get me started on that. But at the time, that was a great trade. So, I mean, this team, they got the talent. They have a chance to go do something good. Please keep your players. Don't try and trade them. Unless someone blatantly says, I want to leave, don't get rid of your players, please. You guys have
Thunder
something.
have it perfect.
And last but not least, we're going to end off this segment with the DPOY race. This one's kind of the same as last year.
Me.
Brooks Lopez, JJJ, and Evan Mobley.
Who won it last year? Was it JJJ?
JJ, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Triple J's. Jaren Jackson Jr., for those that do not know. He's a beast. He plays great defense. I think Brook Lopez is the favorite again.
He got to be.
And I think he kind of got, I want to say
he got robbed. Brook Lopez's offensive night the other night? He had 38 points the other night.
He's a dog, bro.
It was crazy.
I do think that, Brook Lopez should have won it last year, but I get why Triple J's won. But
no one's surprised. I mean, this is the three best players on defense in the NBA. This really doesn't surprise me.
The fact that the Cavs have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, by the way, just
and Donovan Mitchell, and they still are.
No, I'm talking their paint defense. I don't know how people even score in the paint on them because
why
that
are they
team's
bad? They have such a good team. The Cavaliers. They just can't they can't piece it together.
And no bench. That doesn't help either. I could probably name 2 bench players. I'm known for naming off teams. I mean, I do it really good on our TikTok channel. Go check it out.
Yeah.
But that's going to be all for today's NBA segment. My name is Charles Foster.
My name is Jace Hodge. Go Pacers. Beat Boston.